Eli. I want to see my baby. Eli, that's the least you can do after 20 years in this hellhole, the bowel systems of America. Eli, I want to see my Livy. Hey y'all, it's Angie Ray, back again to review this week's Scandal, episode 8, season 3. That would be 308. Scandal, hashtag Scandal 308. Hashtag Gladdy AVA. Ava. This is the episode I have been waiting for. Ava Duvernay. Girl, I know you're going to watch the first couple minutes of this video. I want to tell you, you gave me the life I begged you for the last 7 episodes. I have been waiting for this episode, and you did it. You and Shonda Rhimes, y'all worked. You worked everybody on that set. Everybody brought their A game. I mean, finally, you know what I mean? Finally, Harrison has a love interest or is doing something. Like, thank you. Thank you. You got my, oh, girl, we about to just, okay, so I was just about to go on a tangent, but girl, thank you so much. I cannot wait to work with you. You and I met at the LA Film Festival very briefly. I know you met a lot of people, but hopefully through my video reviews and through my constant presence on social media, you and I will work together one day. Just one day. All right, so guys, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Angie Ray. That is at ANJIRAY. You can follow me on Twitter. We'll do all those plugs at the end of the review. But I am an actor here in LA, and so I'm also a gladiator. I've been doing this, my first time doing the reviews for Scandal for the first, for this season. And I'm so mad that I didn't do reviews season 1 and 2, but can't dwell on the past forever. I'm so glad we're here. Let's jump right into this. You guys, Eli, whew. Okay, it starts off with Eli and Mama Pope. Y'all know I got my notes in case I have to refer to them because y'all know I had to be focused, okay? So Eli and Mama Pope are in the, we pick up where we left off, okay? Eli goes to see Omar Dresden, who is aka Mama Pope, aka Candy Alexander, aka Maya Lewis, okay? And he's like, our daughter's been asking about you. She turns around just looking as like death, okay? And was like, it was quiet for the first half of the time. I think that's where Olivia gets it from. She listens a lot. So she was like, Eli was like, and so therefore I will be moving you off to West Bumba place somewhere. I know I'm trying to, alter my mouth. So he pretty much tried to do the same thing, run the same kind of game that he did when Olivia was put on blast in the media. Remember how he was like, you're gonna go to like Saudi Arabia and we have a plane waiting for you and all that. That's what he's trying to do to the mother. So the mother has been in prison for 20 years, locked up. And I'm thinking, girl, in my head, I was like, girl, you must be mixed or something because your hair look good. Like, there's no way you could be in prison for 20 years and still your hair is laid back. Your hair was slicked back in that French roll. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not French roll, but that French braid. It looked like she had just got a perm. So I'm like, okay, y'all. That's one thing they should have did was maybe put an afro on Maya Pope, or had her natural or something, because that's the only thing I want them to do. Like, I know her hair was braided up, but you could still tell there was an alisette in Panama. Alisette means that was still, a perm in her hair or whatever. But anyways, Candy Alexander gave me everything I needed. Like, she was just as abrupt and curt as she wanted to be with Eli, and I love it. And you got to see like a little bit of her, like her personality, which everybody is putting this together with how Olivia acts between her and her father. Like, you're trying to put the picture together. Well, honey, the picture is put together. Thank you, Ava Duvernay, okay? Because you put that picture, you got us together quick on this episode, okay? I was here for everything you gave me. So then, she's like, under one condition before you send me off to some hellhole to rot in for the rest of my life. We still don't know why she's there, but I mean, they did have some snippets or like some cutouts as to what happened. I think she was the bomber or what. Oh, something happened. Okay, so I know we'll find out more about her storyline later on. But you know, they gave us just enough for us to be satisfied. So she was like, I want to see my baby. And Eli looked like he was actually gonna you know, allow her to do that. And he was like, no, can do. Tomorrow you're off. You're on the first flight to wherever. Okay, excuse me, y'all. To wherever. So I'm like, Eli, please, you can show her a picture or two or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eli, you ain't gotta be like that, but you know, he still loved Mama Pope, okay? So then, Quinn, they cut to Quinn and Charlie are in the car, and she's dropping him off. I mean, he's dropping her off after she done been initiated into, what's it called, Wonderland. And so he was like, just let me at least pretend I'm your boyfriend, your boy toy, or I could just kill you, you know, being that empty threat that he is. Like, I feel like Charlie would kill her, but I think that he really likes her because he reported back to Eli, and Eli was like, is everything okay? Are we straight with her? I want her to report back to me, yada yada yada. He was like, yes, we're good. And then he was like, you know, if she messed up, you gonna do what I told you to do. And right then and there, like, Charlie looked like he was type scared for her. Like, I'm not trying to take that girl out. So anyways, then the gladiators all around the table trying to figure out who the killer was for the security guard. And you know, Quinn's looking type nervous, and I'm just like, girl, I hope they find out. You know, you knew, okay, you knew Huck was gonna find out. Like, it didn't take no time for Huck to find out it was her. I knew it. By the end of the episode, I knew Huck was gonna know. And sure enough, what happened at the end, Huck slid a little piece of paper with her photo, because they got a reflection off the glass. And you know, she looks up and there's this you know, there's this DeWitt kit or DeWalt kit with tools out. And I mean, like, I'm talking about drills and pliers and such. And she's like, Huck, because Quinn knows. Quinn knows it's about to go down. He was like, yup, I need to know who you're working for. Okay, so then James and Cyrus, so James and Cyrus are together, and Cyrus has been laid off at this point. Y'all knew about that last episode. And he, you know, Cyrus is a little OCD. I mean, not Cyrus, but James is a little OCD. I like that we're peeping into their relationship a little bit more, and that we're getting like the little idiosyncrasies of James. So James is OCD. He's out on the lawn all day counting how many times the sprinkler comes on. He's out there with the housing development filing a complaint on his neighbor. And I'm just like, who files complaints on neighbors about sprinklers? Like, you know, I can't stand neighbors like that, for real. Like, we would go all day together, okay? And so he's talking about they're in housing violation. I'm like, okay, James, please, Cyrus, give this man something to do. So Cyrus is low-key setting him up so Sally's husband can fall, so they can have like a little storyline, so Sally won't be, you know, running for candidacy because her husband is supposedly on the down low. Okay, and Cyrus and Mellie are, you know, pretty much using James as a culprit, you know what I mean, as a fall guy. So James is naive as he should be blonde, because he's so naive as to what Cyrus is doing. The minute that Cyrus was being nice and pushing me to go see somebody else and you know, just being overtly, you know, happy about me interviewing a guy, then I'm just like, you know, he should have been up to par. But you know, y'all know how James is a blonde, like, for real, because he's like so slow on it. And when he finds out, then he gets all upset and hurt feelings, like that one time when he's been ready to have that baby, how Cyrus like pulled almost pulled the trigger on him. So this is something that, this is a character deflect in James. So anyways, I called it right here where he was like, I think that, you know, Sally's husband, I forgot what his name was, but I think he's a little charming with his hillbilly ways. And I'm like, foreshadowing, you know they're gonna do something, right? Okay, so then it cuts to Candace and Josie. Candace and Josie, I think they're having like a little mother-daughter moment. Like, I think they're bonding in the mother-daughter way, because Josie, Lisa Kudrow, was like, Candace, because Candace, she gets too overly excited. That's her sister-daughter. Her sister-daughter, or daughter-sister. What Abby say? That's her sister. I mean, her sister daughter. That was clever. I was like, okay, Abby, I see you throwing lots of shade. It is so shady around here. So, they're talking about Reston, who's like this other candidate, and basically Candace is up to something because there's a stolen computer, and they're trying to figure out who stole the computer. And you know, she's getting a little above. She's getting too big for her britches. Okay, this is Candace, and so then Harrison says like he's all over it, and I knew Harrison. Wait, I think I'm jumping ahead of myself. But anyways, let's cut to the next scene, and then we'll you know we're gonna tie Harrison back in. Mellie is okay. So then it cuts to Mellie and Fitz sitting at the Oval Office watching television. So Mellie is sitting there thinking that she has conquered Fitz with that, you know, show up for me monologue that she did last week. Show up for me, Fitz. Okay, show up for me. Show up for me. The least we could do is be friends. She thought she did something with that monologue, but you know that it only lasted for about the span of the interview, and that was about it. So he gave her what she needed, which was a little bit of publicity, a little bit of him humiliating himself in front of America, admitting the fault, and that's what happened. Okay, so she's twirling her hair. What she do? She was twirling Mellie was, oh, you could have sworn Mellie was in Candyland the way she was acting. She was twirling her hair, watching the interview like she had seen Vergüenza without shame. She was without shame all the way. And she's smiling, and I'm just like, Mellie, you could have a little, you know, have a little couth about yourself, because, like, girl, okay, we almost was with you with that monologue, and then you over here twirling your. All she needed was a pack of gum to start popping her gum, and I just been like, Mellie, you being ghetto right now, okay? So, anyways, she's twirling her hair, and he's off staring off into space because he knows that interview that he did is gonna piss Olivia off, which she was like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, nothing. And he was like, enjoy, don't wait up or whatever. Left Mellie in there to watch the rest of the interview. He calls Olivia. Okay, so you know Olivia was already watching the interview. You know she is type pissed because she's like, what is this man doing? I mean, I don't give him no attention, and he starts admitting fault and that the affair was his fault. Like, it basically, Fitz tried to fool Olivia, and not Olivia, Fitz tried to fool Mellie. Okay, not only did he fool Mellie, he fooled Olivia, because he got Olivia over there heated. She was mad. And so I like the dichotomy between the three of them. Like, you know, the tug and war, you know, it's just a lot, but it does keep us interested as gladiators. So then the Fitz phone's ringing, and I like the way Ava Duvernay did this. Okay, last episode, the Fitz phone was just sitting on the bare counter, just a flat counter. This time, she put the Fitz phone in whoever the set decorator was like, we about to really accentuate this Fitz phone. So she had the Fitz phone in a bowl, and so you know anything that can give some type of echoing effect would be a little bit, you know, annoying. So the Fitz phone is twirling around the bowl, and I'm just like, oh, they are doing a lot with this Fitz phone. Something must be getting ready to happen with this Fitz phone. Okay, foreshadowing. So then I feel like the Fitz phone is like crack, because this is the first time Olivia didn't answer that phone, and I'm like, something's gonna happen with that phone because she didn't answer it. So the next time is gonna be like, we don't know. Well, we do know. She cracked that mug open. She busted it up. She took a hammer and went AWOL on that phone. I mean, I was over here cheering, because I'm like, finally they can upgrade to an iPhone 5, because I was so tired of seeing that Nokia. Like, I know it's harder to trace these calls, but at this point I don't care. Y'all need to get a iPhone, because I was sick of that phone. I'm glad she busted up that phone. Like, it was just, no, I was so happy. I'm just jumping around. Y'all know how I do. Okay, so anyways, the Fitz phone is broken, and so here comes Jake talking about I'm gonna get to the Hannibal Lecter part in 2 seconds. Here comes Jake talking about, oh, you think that's gonna do it? So, you know, we have this jealousy. If it's not Jake, it's Fitz being jealous over Olivia. So, you know, I mean, I'm just like, If it was me and I busted up the phone and Jake coming here talking about, you think that's gonna stop him from getting your attention? You think that's gonna stop him? I'd be like, you know what, Negro, yes, for the moment, you should be happy that the Fitz phone does not exist, okay? You see I'm taking baby steps, okay? So just like, don't encourage me to look for other signs of when Fitz is gonna like try to get in contact with me, okay? Like, you pushing her. Stop it, okay, Jake, with your little antics. So anyways, they cut from the phone, they cut to Maya Pope, okay? So Maya is determined to see her baby. And this is what I'm talking about with the instincts of mothers. Mothers will do anything. Mothers will chew their own wrists to see their children. I mean, Maya Pope, okay, so the camera, this is what I love about Ava. Ava makes it so like candid and crystal clear, like she really evokes his emotions. So I'm like, please, Ava, don't show us. Like, they got the music in the background, the camera zooming in, and we see a pool of blood, and I'm like, please, Ava, don't show us the wrist. Please, Ava, please don't. And what did Ava do? She showed us the wrist, and then on top of that, she showed us Maya Lewis doing a Hannibal Lecter. Okay, she was chewing her veins. Like, till she hit the artery. It's like, dang, she wasn't just chewing so she could bleed. She was chewing till she hit a major vein, a major artery. So I'm like, ooh, them ain't no demons. That woman is trying to see her child, and she has a plan. You see, this is the beginning of Miss Candy Alexander, aka Maya Pope, aka Mama Pope, being conniving, because she knew exactly what she was doing. She wasn't for this. She wasn't leaving without seeing her baby, okay? She busted up out of jail. Let me tell you, honey, after Eli came in there, she was like, okay, so let's go to, y'all know I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so hold on. So we're gonna come back to Eli and Mama Pope and, you know, these pictures, okay? Because that was just, you know what, let's just talk about it right now. So Eli, she got admitted into to the prison hospital, and the doctor is going off on a tangent talking about, she's dealing with some demons. I mean, nobody chews through their wrists, sir. Like, with all due respect, she's dealing with some issues. And he was like, that's enough, doctor. You know what I'm saying? So the doctor know his place, and he was like, make sure she is sedated, she is sedated for her trip off to La La Land tomorrow, because she ain't coming back over here, and Olivia ain't gonna have no way to come see her mama after this buffoonery is done. So he was like, yes, sir. So I guess Eli got a little heart, because he brought a photo album. This is after he done told, what's his name? What's that boy name? Charlie, to be done with Quinn if Quinn messed up. So he's looking through the photo album. He takes the photo album, and you would have thought, okay, after all these years, you would at least have one picture. Okay, Eli, don't do that. So he didn't have not one physical picture that he took of their daughter and him. So he's showing her all these newspaper clippings of all of Olivia's achievements, and and that's like, they're flipping through, and she's like, okay, so where are the pictures? And he was like, what are you talking about? She was like, where are my baby's pictures? I told you, surely after 20 years you took some pictures, like drinking eggnog and some Christmas pictures, something. And he was like, we grew apart. And she's like, I told you to take care of my baby. And he was like, I did the best I could. And she was like, I mean, I told you to take care of my baby. He was like, oh, don't throw it back on me. It's your fault, the reason why you ain't see your baby. And I'm just like, oh, so we getting messy now. But true, sure enough, I mean, she should have been a little, I ain't gonna lie, this is the first time I'm on Eli's side. Like, yes, he should have took us some pictures of the baby, but at the same time, you ain't seen the child in 20 years. Be grateful that you seen a clip out. Okay, Candy. All right, but I feel you, girl. So she said, oh no, this is not gonna suffice. I will see my child. So she ends up, I'll tell y'all in a minute. But anyways, then they cut to Jake and Quinn. What's happened with Jake and Quinn? Oh, Quinn is trying to get the surveillance footage because she ain't trying to get caught. And she know Huck is just 3 steps behind her before she gets caught. So she runs into Jake at the security place, and he's like, what are you doing here? He gives her this little suspect look, and she was like, oh, I'm just being, I decided I was gonna go ahead and get the, just lying. I was gonna go ahead and get the footage and just be proactive. He was like, no. He was like, look at you being proactive. And when people say little catty stuff like that, you gotta look at them side eye like, you won't never talk to me like this. So obviously you think I'm up to something, which now gotta watch you. But whatever. So I don't even care about Quinn. Quinn, like, I want you to get cut the hell up with Huck. Huck ain't gonna do it because he ain't have the heart to do it the last time. He's just trying to scare you. But Huck might do it. But we don't know. We don't know what Huck is capable of doing. So anyways, Eli, who else? Oh yeah, we already talked about Eli and the doctor, okay? So Abby and David, okay, now they're dating, and the scandal writers, y'all think y'all slick by throwing in these little hashtags. So hashtag Pope heads, because Abby and David are talking, and Abby was like, I want to know, it was somebody from the resting camp that stole the computer, and I need you to get some people in there to investigate. He's like, I can't do it unless there's probable cause. And like, they go back and forth. They're doing their little catty, like, arguing, and like, apparently he has some type of snoring problem. He's been on the couch, and they're going through their little lovers quarrel. There wasn't too much there to say, except that Abby's belt was type cute, okay? Abby's belt gave me life. I love that chain belt on Abby. Like, Abby is bringing it this season, for real. Her fashion sense is stepped up. Oh, and we can tell that Olivia's pregnant. So, that little white blouse they had on her, that wasn't doing it. Child, the woman is showing, okay? We know Miss Carrie Washington is pregnant. So, hopefully, y'all are smart enough to, like, tie this episode in when they return in 2 weeks, that the woman is pregnant or something. Like, we just need something to happen, okay? So then Mellie, they cut to Mellie and Cyrus having a talk, because James is getting ready to go in and have this conversation with Sally's husband, and Mellie is ensuring, she's trying to ensure that Cyrus is okay with basically him setting up James. And he was like, oh, I'm good. My husband ain't gonna do that to me. He ain't gonna cheat on me, yada, yada, yada. She's like, okay, because once you go down this road, you can't turn back, and it's a hell of a road. And he was like, I know. And so then he tried to throw shade at Mellie, talking about, my husband ain't your husband. Okay, see, that's when I would have been like, okay, Cyrus, mark your words, mark my words, never say never. And sure enough, what happened, y'all? James allegedly, that's what we say in LA, everything's alleged. Allegedly, James slept with Sally's husband. Okay, I don't know if they set that up. Okay, somebody said that maybe James set that up, but I think that really James is he's not too smart. So I think he actually did sleep with Sally's husband. Okay, so now we have a whole nother thing going on. And y'all know when Cyrus was looking at them pictures that he was fuming, crying, all that stuff. Okay, well, you started it. Okay, you said you can only push that man so hard. You did this. Okay, so I really feel bad for Cyrus. I'm just ready for Cyrus to get crunk and start yelling and ordering hits on people. That's all, because I love when Cyrus is in that mode. So yeah, so we talked about that. Quinn is sitting in Pope and Associates nervous because they done found an image on some type of glass, and I'm just like, they're getting ready to find her. Harrison finds out that, okay, so then Candace does a little press conference and tells the world that the stolen computer came from Reston's camp, and Harrison is fuming. And don't no man get that upset about something unless he really like you, okay? Like, for real. So he goes over there and he checks Candace, and I'm like, truth be told, Columbus Short, you looking fine as hell. Like, you could check me all day. I wanted you to just be like, the way he was like, and if you play nice, I might let you, what'd he say? And if you color inside the lines and you play right, I might let you come out and play. Or so he said something real slick, okay? And I'd have been like that. It was so sexy the way he said it. Columbus Short boy, yes. And I was like, foreshadowing. Y'all know I'm gonna start doing that. Every time I start reading the episode, I'm gonna say foreshadowing. I knew from that scene that they was gonna be ended up in bed together, and what happened? They ended up in bed together this episode. Ava, you done did it for me. Y'all need to go follow Ava. Ava ETC at AVA, ETC. That's the director, Ava Duvernay, who directed this episode. And if she gave y'all life, tell her at Angie Ray, at ANJIRAY sent you, because I have been waiting and I have been just hoping that this episode would do everything it was supposed to do. My sister called me and was like, girl, my friend who is the president of a magazine called me and told me this episode gave her life, and she's a writer. And I'm like, yes. And my sister falls asleep. She fell asleep during Dreamgirls. I told y'all about that before. So this is somebody who falls asleep often during, like, you know, even the most exciting things. And I'm telling you, Scandal keeps... This is the reason I got into Scandal, because my sister told me that it was so off the chain. And I'm like, what? My sister's telling me this? Let me get on it. So yes, thank you. Okay, Coco. So so Harrison gets into Candace or whatever. You know them, that tension. Y'all know that tension was gonna happen. And I'm so glad Harrison got him son, because he was just looking like he was just upset with all of ABC, Shonda, Carrie. Like he only had 2 words last episode. So y'all gave my man some things to do, and so I was happy for that. We already talked about Quinn busting up, not Quinn, but what's her name, busting up the Fitz phone. Okay, so we talked about that. Oh, did anybody catch the shade that Abby was throwing at Quinn's fit, talking about some shabby shoes and her shabby dress? And I'm just like, oh, Abby, you are getting cattier and cattier, and I'm loving it and loving it. I was like, yes, girl, give me it. I mean, Abby, with that belt and that hair color, you are giving me all types of shade. I love it. So then we talked about Cyrus and James. Okay, Olivia and Fitz. Oh, this man built this woman a house, the one that was gonna make jam in, okay, and calls her out. Well, first he sends Ethan. You know, Ethan just looked like he's so scared, so he sends, I don't know if it's Ethan. No, it's the Secret Service guy. I don't know, where has Ethan been? We miss Ethan. So anyways, the Secret Service guy, y'all already know, I think it's gonna be a 2-part video. It's about to cut off in about a couple of minutes, so if it cuts off in the mid-sentence, y'all know to go ahead and click right here or over here somewhere in this box for the second part of this episode, this review. Okay, so anyways, Fitz sends Olivia through Secret Service guy some picture of her and her daddy, and she was like, fine, I'll go meet him. And I'm just like, that wasn't enough oomph, okay, for you to go meet him. But there was a helicopter. He sent the helicopter to go get her. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. So she flies up to Vermont to go see him at this house, and he's talking about the house and all these little specific points about the host. And she was like, I wish you would stop talking about this house. You know what I mean? Where the hell are we at? And that's a little, you know, the ethnic side of Olivia came out, because she was getting so through with him. Like she's trying to explain this whole thing about her father, and he keep talking about the house, and then he drops it on her that he built that house for Olivia and that she could actually make jam. And I said, no, this Negro didn't. No, Fitz did not. You know what was going to happen next. What happened next? They made love, okay? So I'm like, oh, girl, you done busted up the phone. You was on a good track, and now he done told you he built you the house, and you give it to him, and then, like, okay, y'all, let's just be honest. Truth be told, if a man did that for me, I would have to go ahead and hop back in the helicopter, because I'm not about to give you what I need to give you and what I want to give you, okay? So, yeah, I could see why her, she gets a pass. Okay, I hate that I'm saying this, but... like, I don't know. You know what? No, she does not get a pass. She could have just turned around and been like, nice house, and just kept her feelings to herself and got on that helicopter and went home. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I just wanted to show it to you before I actually sold it. And I'm like, Fitz, you think that you're so slick. Boy, can't stand you. You knew this was going to happen again. Okay, so then... they do what they do, and okay, this is about to cut off. I will see y'all in about 2 seconds. Make sure that you click here or click here, y'all. I swear it's not gonna be too long, about maybe like 5 more minutes. I have like two more seconds. All right, bye. I say hurry up, y'all. Go ahead and click. What y'all waiting on?